Good afternoon, my electronic brothers and sisters. So I came back as usual, to whinge, not just whinge for the sake of whinging, but I do have a point. Because like I was reading about this, a point in time which has influenced greatly about Eritrean and Ethiopian revolution, during that caused the downfall of this royal dynasty of King Haile Selassie, all that feudalism, and then he got really violent revolution, communist idea. Karl Marx, my friend. Okay, Karl Marx was a guy who came from Germany, prophesizing all his world vision, and he ended up being stateless. So he got buried somewhere in North London, So all the communists, young, hot-blooded, really ambitious people, like my friend. If you're gonna be super cool, the way that we dance in London nightclubs to be accepted by really beautiful chicks, these people have to look very smart with their intellect, their machine gun in body, power, all this ancient Greece superhero, all this Heracles kind of thing. So they read all his works, Karl Marx, okay? So in mythology, all these Greek things, Martha, Martin, Mark is all about this is the worship of this god of war. Okay, that's the whole thing. That name, okay, mark that. So you go Marcos, William Sambasha. So this Karl Marx, a German man, read a lot of things about this Hegel, another German. So he had a problem with the authorities in Germany, so he ended up in London. So died stateless. Okay. So all his works, it's all about hacking people. Okay. So they hack all the Eritrean Ethiopian mind thinking as if it's like an operating system in a computer PC. They hack all your mind, and you end up following them, and you die being stateless, like a refugee, like a slave. Even your corpse doesn't end up in Eritrea. That's really sad, man. So this, I say like this, Mehro Shaitan. So it's got a lot of meaning, because these are satanic ideas they teach our youth, intoxicating their minds, thinking they have the panacea, the key to life, my friend. Your management of your life, But as a matter of fact, it's really deadly, satanic ideas, all this. We've been traumatized for how many? 56 years, 60 years, all our lives because of these people, okay? So you got all these past revolutionaries, they made their mark in life, and, they clear off all this Amhara and Oromo from our land, and now we got our place, okay? That's good, isn't it? But them themselves are becoming like a monopolistic capitalists, the same way, this music. We listen to it, mama. It was really nice thing, my friend. I've been going to a lot of really the coolest nightclubs in London, my friend. So this music, people what it called. He's a kind of like a big Philip Prop. Sometimes he just tries to create all this royalty, music dynasty, selling all this idea of in the past revolutionists, So he made it his own. He wants to claim royalty over all this. He became a capitalist himself. Okay? So I don't told. I don't like that kind of flip flop. Anyway, my point is this. So you got people, capitalists, people with a lot of capital, like Donald Trump, maybe 70 or 80 years old. So these people, my friend, they get so much aphrodisiac seeing all this money dollar, my friend, counting. So it makes them feel really sexy, young, and everything. Okay, the same way songs like what the Troll, if you listen to all this feature, my friend, it gives you that euphoria, the best feeling in life, that idealistic nation. Okay, no foreign invader or colonizer is in your country where you spend dancing, my friend, hug all these beautiful chicks. So you have that euphoria feeling of really the most exciting, panacea, love, idealistic world. The same way Mr. Donald Trump counts his whole multi-billion dollars, I think he's gonna laugh a lot with it, because he knows how it is, okay? So these people, now they're getting older, they are to semi-retired pension age. They become following the footsteps of Donald Trump. They become the worst capitalist monopolist people, like, you know. So that's the same thing, like, you know, when the young age revolution goes the last maximum peak point, it slides down. Yeah? Because these people are fun. When you get older, you become vulnerable, and you know, you try to depend on your money earning, like, you know, all your capital, everything. Otherwise, like, you know, nobody's gonna accept you. That's the same way, my friend. Okay. So every revolution has got its own time span. It just fades away. New generation come, they bring their own organization and organizing ideas. Okay. So that's the same thing. But it brought me to this idea. Why industrialization? What's industrialization? Do we need industrialization? Like, you know, because industrialization is about a mass production. Okay, so that you can be extremely very competitive and you become superhero controller of economy globally. Okay, countries like England, Germany, and you know, America. So these are called highly industrialized nations. Okay, so they create a lot of machineries, you know, pharmaceutical companies, educational for establishments. You know, they sell all their ideas, knowledge economy, you know, machinery, farm products, produces. You know, so because I want to link it to our editor. Okay, so reading about this, there was this Eritrean guy called Joseph Kabila. He's a philosopher by background. So he was talking about all these Eritrean young fighters from the past, and he was telling them like these are people, you know, slave soldiers, stupid people who just live by the opium, kind of like, you know, drunk with all this Ajip pop, all this propaganda music. But my friend, these people were fighting for their land, you know, for their agricultural farms and you know, their communities, and that line of thought just hit me really hard for so many years. Today I found out its solution, because it was done by this Russian propaganda kind of minister. He was into finance and everything. Okay, so he came. His dad was a priest and everything, like, you know. Anyway, he did a lot of work into this Bolshevik Shaolin process, or this Russian revolution. Anyway, it had a really good positive motive to start with, but you know, his idea was hijacked by Stalin. Was it Stalin? Then he implemented his ideas, but he was executed. Okay, that's the same thing, you know. But this takes us back to industrialization. Okay, and into our Eritrean context. Now we are very young, you know, with all our power and energy and our intellect, like, you know. But we got a really massive land for our population size and the most geographically strategical area, you know, the hub of economic flow of all this transportation, logistics from four corners, north, south, east, west. Okay, the most richest people. Okay, so having all this industrialization, machinery whatsoever, I don't think it's going to make any difference, because number one, we are going to be extremely competitive with the world now it is. Okay, so what we need is a shortcut: education, my friend. Education, education, education. Like, you know. So if we are educated enough, we got more than enough economic resources, natural resources. You know, our geographical area being the location is number one, because I want to compare it with Israel. Okay, really tiny nation, but they are making a big impact in the world stage. Okay, so now we Eritreans. Okay, we got 1,300 kilometer water, sea access to the whole global markets. Okay, number two, we got our farm, you know, agricultural. So we got more than enough supplies for us to feed us economically. Okay, so having this industrialization revolution that the European nations are fading away, even from that line of thought into service economy and knowledge economy, I think that's where we need that shortcut, my friend. Education, education, education. Okay, if we are equipped enough with our brain, we manage ourselves, our mind, from all this colonial mindset. That means, my friend, we're gonna be super rich people. Like, we don't need no one. Okay, so we don't need a lot of machinery, a lot of aeroplane whatsoever. We got everything that we need, my friend. Being healthy, I'm assuming, that's my assumption. Okay, I'm assuming everyone is going to be healthy and, you know, doing all these sports activities. Then, my friend, instead of using a car, they're going to be using mechanical bicycle push bike. Okay, then we're going to be the most healthy people. The same way, like, you got all these Dutch people, Holland people, and they use only cycle. Okay, So that's what we need, this education. We don't need, I don't think we need this, all this industrialization. I don't know how we define industrialization, but the way I think is just like, creating a lot of mass production and machineries, then you create a lot of surplus, then you export and you generate a lot of money for your income. But we electronics, we got that already, okay? And as I said, the reasons we're not gonna be extremely competitive with the world now it is, okay? So we better focus our energy and focus our talent and priority somewhere we can be very productive and we're gonna be successful, which is education, okay? Shortcut. So all this 200, 300 years, all these Europeans, Westerners spend so much waste of energy. We are coming shortcut to the top of the tire of economical power and modern, which is education. And like the devolution that like now, because I just want to bring you all this idea about this EPLF and the Wayane, like about this Martha and Walidi kind of thing, like so. This one in the news was guy. It was a Wale. I think he's from Ethiopia. He had his own doctrine about this Marxist communist, Karl Marx idea, obviously, like So he had that idealistic nation where all the nationalities, as they used to call them, called Behir so much. That's what he was fighting for. And Martha, she's another Eritrean and another female called Tadalish. Okay, these ladies, I think Martha was a daughter of a general. Military general, I don't know. She was into medical science student. Okay, so she was a very ambitious lady. So these people as a team want to hijack aeroplane so that they can be a center of attention in the whole global news outlets, TV, paper, everything like that. So they want to hijack the whole airplane, I don't know, maybe 100 people or something like that. So that they make their name, marked to be the most famous people, and they want to create a revolution to make their name so big, So that's ambition, my friend. That's the same use age, okay? But it went into the level, all these our past generations, like they want to use this brand label, Martha, okay? So because they wanted to make that name so pristine, infallibly, like such kind of like this goddess, kind of this Madonna, Mary in the Bible. They were crushing everyone so that they can keep that name, my friend, okay? Marcus, Karl Marx, and Marcos Williams Hambashe, and Martha, the same name, okay? So they made me sick for so many years, my friend, because they want to create that line of thought as a brand, my friend, All these electoral women, my friend, they are medical doctors, they are biomedical scientists, they are fighters for the equality of women, for, kind of thing, So what they do is they just kill innocent people so that this name brand gets floated, balloon so much, like this hot air balloon. So they will make a lot of people as victims so that they can keep that brand name. Okay, good. If she can make it by herself and themselves, which is good, but not by killing other people, innocent people, which they don't have anything to do with it, So that's really evil, okay? Because it took me so many years to understand all these people, Kenisha people, they got this name called Kasanat. It's a Swedish missionary kind of thing. They gave them that name. These are highly educated people, my friend. They know the brand creation, all this modern marketing, advertising, brand creation, copyright, everything. So they want to take that local psyche into this big corporational branding things by killing every unsuspecting people. I was a victim of that, So I just want to make it clear, So they were talking too much Martha, this girl I was trying to kind of date because I was trying to settle that time. This more there from South Africa introduced me, so they wanted to create this Walidi and Martha as a big name, my friend. So they had to shoot me down so that they can afford that name as a brand, okay? Number one, if you're brand creation, if you're a leader of a company, okay? Suppose that you start as from cleaner and you become super famous brand. Brand creation, number one, takes so many years, okay? People see your product, quality, everything, the assets, oh my goodness, your product, my friends, the best. Then you create a brand list. In 10 years, you become super global. You are afloat in the super stock market in London, okay? And your company becomes a billion pound of assets, very profitable. That's a brand. label creation, okay? So because you put that idea into all these collective people from every country, from your local country, from your neighbors, your product becomes like the best thing. So they buy your product because they trust it, they love it, their quality. Okay, that's integrity. You tell them this my stuff is gonna do this, so they trust it. It's like this BMW, all that kind of stuff. So that's brand. So if you take that brand name Martha, and if other people hear you that you've been killing other people to make that name Martha, you fail. Okay. The same way as a character, as a character label or brand, you have to have that really lovely character for so many years. People know you, as kind of good person, good character, a person not swindles other people, not thieving, not cheating other people, So your name is your praise, or maybe it's your person. Everyone likes your name. Let's say maybe it takes you 20, 30 years. You become brand name. Let's say Mr. Dr. Dr. Martin. He becomes super global marketing label brand holder. Okay. So this Martha name is failed. Whether you call it political, whether you call it Pentecostal, Lutheranism, as I say, it's like this African spiritism, okay? This ritual secret church. Whether you call it Kanisha, Kasanat like this Israeli Kasanat Parliament. Whether you call it Kanisha, Kasanat as an organization, it fails because that brand, that what it stands for, is not going well. It's not surviving. Quash. So from all this hijacking, big name idea that people promoted for so many years was evaporated into that thin air. Okay. So if your name is Martha, maybe someone from from Mendefra or Duarwa, okay. If that brand has failed, you don't have no right to claim that brand around Adria or in Bahrain or around my area because you trust me, my friend. Okay? You're not standing to that name, which is fake. Okay, so I just want to give you this, the meaning of brand. Okay, so when you're working so hard on a brand, number one, it's just about it's about control. It's like seeking privilege. You want to have a privilege on somebody who has died to make, good cause. So you want to cling to that name, that good name. What I say, I'm a such and such, son of Martha, brother of Martha, from my village, from my city. I deserve privilege in society. So I'm gonna be a prime minister of electoral, a leader, because I deserve Martha. Martha was my closest family. She's from my local area in Mandafara. And she was top medical student, even though she didn't graduate. She died hijacking that aeroplane. My friend, that's our clan. We should rule you, you other people, Berenet people, the whole of electoral. We deserve that. The same way this Mr. Bolderman, he was a secret agent, kind of spy agent for the British government. And people, they were feeding us wrong propaganda information as if he was just that messiah kind of thing. There's a lot of things that I don't like about this electoral politics, my friend. But the thing is, my friend, we are healthy and we young. We got a lot of things to accumulate money and become super billionaires like Mr. Donald Trump. And we get all this aphrodisiac feeling of euphoric feeling of idealistic will become so super rich, my friend, counting all money. And all the women come partying with us, my friend, drinking beer, dancing together, okay? You have a lovely evening. Bye.